Now, government officials in the Central African Republic have announced that the Transitional Council has adopted a new constitution, which is designed to form the base of a new government. This comes as the CAR attempts to have a fresh start after enduring years of violence. There are some steps that must be followed before this proposed constitution becomes a law. The constitution must first pass a referendum set for October the 5th, followed by legislative and presidential elections on October the 18th, with a second round slated for October the 22nd. The CAR descended into chaos back in March of 2013 when predominantly Muslim Seleka rebels seized power, triggering reprisals by anti-Balaka Christian militias who drove tens of thousands of Muslims from the south in a de facto partition. Now, as we just told you, this constitution has not been signed just yet, but let's give you a breakdown of what is inside of it as things stand right now. First of all, regarding the presidential terms, it's limited to 2 terms. Now, the new charter would limit the president's mandate to 5 years that can only be renewed once and cannot be prolonged for any reason, and would also create a Senate to help govern. Regarding special courts, the constitution, which will now be put to a public vote, also includes the creation of a special court to judge the most serious crimes. Ministers are also obliged to sign off on the president's decisions, and the constitution obliges ministers to sign off on decisions by the president, so it's not just him that can make important decisions, but also the prime minister as well as the other ministers. And part of the proposed constitution is the inclusion of a Senate or second parliamentary chamber, and also a national election authority, as well as a body dedicated to good governance. As the Central African Republic prepares to sign a new constitution in just a couple of weeks, some children who were formerly enslaved by armed groups have regained their freedom. Over the weekend, a total of 163 children, including 5 girls, have been released by the anti-Balaka militia during a ceremony in the town of Batangafo.
163 children can finally taste freedom again after a militia in the Central African Republic released them from their slavery over the weekend, partly fulfilling a pledge made as part of a UN brokered deal. The children, freed by the mostly Christian anti-Balaka militia, are among more than 6,000 thought to have been made to do menial jobs such as cooking or cleaning, or as fighters for armed groups. The anti-Balaka militia itself is believed to still be holding even more children, just like other groups on both sides of the country's religiously colored conflict.
The funding gap is now projected around $6 to $7 million, because I was saying that the easiest thing to do is what we have done today, which is having a ceremony, getting paper signed, or having commitment publicly taken. But the most challenging part will be now the health services to be provided to those children in terms of screening. The other part is psychosocial support that these children bring needs to come back to normalcy and to recover and to overcome all the trauma that they have gone through.
The children who have regained their freedom are now receiving medical care and will then proceed to a transition center where they will be supported in either going back to school or enrolling in vocational training. Many of the girls have to live with the trauma of being sexually abused and also the risk of being rejected and stigmatized by their communities. UNICEF estimates that between 6,000 and 10,000 children have been associated with armed factions in CAR since 2013. These include children serving as combatants, as well as those working as cooks, messengers, and in other roles. Elsewhere in the former French colony, violence has increased in recent days following a period of relative calm since the peace deal was signed in May. The United Nations Refugee Agency, UNHCR, believes that several thousands of people had been forced from their homes by the renewed violence.